You may be familiar with using Harmonize for enhanced discussion boards in Canvas. But did you know that Harmonize has a brand new and easy to use peer review tool? In fact, if you're familiar with Harmonize discussions, you'll notice that the setup process for these tools is nearly identical. This video will tell you everything you need to know about how a Harmonize peer review assignment works. Peer reviews have two separate components: the assignment itself, which could be anything, and the peer review. We often think of peer reviews as limited to reviews of written text, but you can use Harmonize to have your students review any type of file submitted by their classmates: a video, an audio recording, a link to a student's website, a PowerPoint, a photograph. Let your imagination go wild. When your students access a Harmonize peer review, they will see what closely resembles a Harmonize discussion, but without any visible posts. Unlike a discussion, even if other students in the class have already posted, in a peer review, your students won't see them. They will be able to see the instructions for the original assignment and for the peer review portion, but nothing else. However, as the instructor, the overall view will look nearly identical to a Harmonized discussion, as you will be able to see all of the original assignments that have been submitted, as well as the number of peer reviews submitted. A student would click on Assignment Post Instructions to read the instructions you've given them for the original assignment. The due date for the original assignment post appears at the upper left. The location for submitting their assignment appears directly below the instructions. Students submit their content the same as they would for a Harmonized discussion. After a student has submitted their original assignment, Harmonize will automatically link them with a submitted assignment to review, which they will begin reviewing by clicking the Start Peer Review button. Because Harmonize randomly assigns students to peer assignments to review, instructors don't need to worry about their students simply reviewing the content from their friends. Additionally, at this point, the peer review instructions will be visible to the students. Now that you have an idea of how Harmonize peer reviews work, let's take a look at how to set one up. Start by clicking on Assignments in the course navigation menu and selecting the Plus Assignment button. Enter the title for the peer review, but don't put anything in the text box. You will enter instructions elsewhere. Otherwise, you will fill out your settings the same way you would for any other assignment, but with one exception. Next to Submission Type, select External Tool. Then, click on the Find button and scroll down until you find Harmonize Assignment. Click on Harmonize Assignment. In the window that opens, click on Peer Review. Then, hit the Select button. You will return to your assignment edit screen, and it won't look any different, but don't worry, that's how it's supposed to look. Be sure the box next to Load this tool in a new tab is not checked. Then hit Save, but don't publish yet. Now Harmonize will load. You will be able to configure the settings for the peer review here. Let's start by taking a look at the different settings we can edit. Here, you can edit the assignment's dates. Next, you can choose to enter when the student's assignments are due, as well as when the peer reviews are due. Remember, your students' original assignments should be due before the peer reviews are due. Keeping this box checked breaks up a student's grade for the assignment based on on-time participation, as outlined above, where you chose when the original post and peer review suggestions would be due. Keeping the final box checked causes all submissions to be run through Turnitin for plagiarism detection. Once you have the settings to your liking, it's time to write your instructions. Click on the Write Instructions button. it automatically opens to Harmonize's AI function, which will allow AI to generate your instructions based on the input you provide here. Alternatively, you can click on Write My Own Instructions and enter your own. Please note, only include instructions for the student's original assignment here. Peer review instructions can be edited in the final step of this process. After you have entered your instructions, you can choose to use the Rubric and AI Coach function or not. For this video, let's go ahead and skip the Rubric and AI Coach. The next thing you will see is the option to choose Harmonize's default peer review settings or to customize them to your liking. In Harmonize's default settings, instructions for completing a peer review are provided. Reviewers are set to anonymous, although as the instructor, you will be able to see who submitted which review. 2 peer reviews are required, and word count is set to a minimum of 200 words. Most of these default settings can be edited by clicking on Configure Additional Settings and then clicking on Peer Review. As you scroll down the page, first you will see Harmonize's default peer review instructions, which you can edit if you wish. Next, decide if you want your students' reviews to be published anonymously or not. Below that, it is likely that you will keep any participating student checked. Next, enter the number of reviews you want your students to submit. The default is 2. Let's skip over the rubric setting for this video. Now, hit Publish. Be sure to remember that even though you've hit Publish within Harmonize, you still need to publish the assignment in Canvas. One thing you should be aware of is that at this time, Harmonize is only able to create one Canvas assignment in the SpeedGrader and Gradebook for the complete 2-part peer review assignment. If you wish to provide 2 separate grades for the assignment, there is a workaround. Simply create a no submission assignment in Canvas and use it to enter the student's peer review scores. If you want to learn more, check out the link in our video description to a fantastic Harmonize webinar on using their peer review function to build AI resilient assignments. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have questions about creating and using the Harmonize peer review tool, please reach out to the CTL at ctlsupport@klamathcc.edu, by phone at 541-880-2374, or just stop by Building 3, Room 350. We look forward to helping you.